Philippe meets with a relative of his who tells him everyone is worried about Dries since he can be violent. He's also discovered he has a criminal record, but Philippe doesn't care. He appreciates Dries because he doesn't pity him and doesn't mind joking around with him. After another failed attempt at hitting on Magali, Dries has dinner with Yvonne in the kitchen while listening to Philippe dictate a letter to Magali. Claiming it's a private conversation, Yvonne turns off the baby monitor and proceeds to explain what's going on. Philippe is pen pals with a woman called Eleonore. Those are the letters he didn't let Dries open, but he's never met Eleonore in person. Their relationship is purely epistolary. Speaking of love, Dries teases Yvonne for the looks the gardener gives her all the time before going to bed. He's trying to sleep when he hears some weird sounds coming from the baby monitor. Philippe is having trouble breathing. Not being capable of ignoring him even if he tries, Dries goes to his room and gently guides him through the attack with soothing words and a wet cloth to wipe his face. Philippe eventually falls asleep, only to wake up again moments later saying he needs air. This time, Dries doesn't hesitate. He puts Philippe in the wheelchair, covers him with blankets, and takes him out for a stroll by the river. This is the first time Philippe has seen Paris at night in a long time, and now he's more relaxed. He explains to Dries that the medicine can only do so much, and he sometimes experiences phantom pain. When they see some girls walking by, Philippe also confesses he isn't capable of pleasuring a woman because of his situation, but he can still enjoy some satisfaction when his ears are massaged because they are sensitive zones. When the phantom pain threatens to appear again, Dries shares one of his joints with Philippe, who is skeptical at first but ends up loving it. Afterward, they go to a restaurant where they joke around while sharing a meal, and Philippe decides to share more of his story. He met his wife when they were students, and shortly after they got married, she had 5 miscarriages and was diagnosed with an incurable terminal illness. That's when they adopted Elisa. Philippe has always loved competitions, extreme sports, and speed, and paragliding gave him that. It was during a paragliding session that bad weather caused him to crash and break his vertebrae, although he still thinks his real handicap isn't the chair, but living without his wife. After joking around some more, Philippe remembers the date and realizes Dries has passed his 1-month trial, so he's now officially hired, but he needs to start by bringing back the Fabergé egg he stole because it was a gift from his wife. She would give him one every year, and he has exactly 25 matching their time together. The next day, Dries goes to talk to Mina when she's leaving school, who is a bit offended because he hasn't been answering her messages except to ask her to look for the egg. She also tells him about some cops that have been calling their home. Afterward, he visits Adama, who confesses he was found with 30 grams on him. Dries wants to take him to lunch, but Adama refuses and instead gets in the same suspicious car from before. Later on, Dries is allowed to be present while Philippe dictates his letter for Eleonore to Magali. He thinks this purple prose is very boring and that Philippe should be more direct. He's also baffled to hear that this has been going on for 6 months and they never exchanged pictures. When he finds her phone number on one of the letters, he takes it as a sign and calls her, obliging Philippe to take the phone and finally speak to her outside the written word. Their conversation goes so well that Philippe is now on the phone with her all the time, even before he and Dries attend the opera, during which Dries laughs and makes fun of the costumes. The next day, Dries convinces Philippe to exchange pictures with Eleonore and chooses one of him in the wheelchair. Afterward, while he's painting, Elisa bursts into his room to ask for cigarettes and makes fun of him for trying to be artistic.